My name is Kelli Dunklee. I am the Youth Program Specialist for Holstein Association USA. We hope this video will take away some of the mystery of applying for the DJM Award, answer questions, and address things applicants can do to help their entries stand out from the rest. As you likely have seen, we have a completely revamped DJM application for 2013. The Junior Advisory Committee spent a great deal of time reviewing the application, and the result is a more streamlined form that we feel best addresses what Holstein Association USA is seeking to recognize as distinguished junior members. The application is available for anyone to view and print at www.holsteinusa.com/juniors by clicking the DJM button in the main menu. Even if you have had siblings or friends who have completed the application in the past, we strongly encourage you to take a fresh look at it and read through everything thoroughly. There are several changes from past requirements. Points will be deducted from entries that do not properly fulfill the requirements. We encourage you to pay special attention to the basic entry requirements on page 2. There are very specific requirements as to what types of binders and paper may be used. We want the DJM entry portfolios to be a professional reflection of our young adult members, so in an effort to work towards that, we are requiring entries be submitted in a standard 1-inch binder. Applicants do still have a free rein and are encouraged to design a cover that is a reflection of themselves, but it must be one standard page and fit in the clear slipcover of the binder. Here you will see one example of the style of binder we recommend DJM entrants to use when submitting their entry. These binders are inexpensive and can be found where you buy school or office supplies. Without getting into too much detail, on the screen you can see a summary of the changes that were made to the 2013 application. In the end, by streamlining and condensing various parts of the application, we reduced the total number of required pages from 42 to 28. Let's start by going over some things to keep in mind when assembling the portfolio. As we mentioned before, a large emphasis will be placed on youth putting forth a professional representation of themselves as accomplished young adults. The applicant's completed book should be something they would be proud to show to a potential employer as a demonstration of their abilities and accomplishments. We are trying to move away from the traditional stigma of a DJM scrapbook and move towards a more professional, well-put-together portfolio. The finished product should have a clean, neat appearance. Applicants should thoroughly proofread their materials to ensure they are free from spelling and grammatical errors. We encourage applicants to develop ways to weave their personality and experiences throughout their entire entry. Think of what will make the entire entry unique and use that to make it an impressive entry. Before working on any one section, familiarize yourself with each part of the application and what it is asking for. Don't overlap, duplicate information, or add things in areas where they don't belong. This is considered filler and detracts from the entry. Again, this is where it's important to take a fresh look at the application rather than basing your entry off of something a friend or relative submitted in the past. Let's take a look at some recommendations we have for individual sections of the application. For the resume, we are looking for something that mimics a resume one would submit when applying for a job. Traditionally, resumes should be only 1 to 2 pages, but we are allowing applicants an extra page so they can cover the full gamut of experiences and activities they have participated in. While we do want the resume to be complete, we do not want to see filler material that is just added to take up space. Applicants should not feel like they must use up the page limits for each section if they don't need the extra space. For example, rather than listing every single show you have participated in or every placing you have earned, things like that are better being generalized. An important thing for the resume is to ensure it has a clear organizational structure that is easy for anyone reading the book to understand. One way of organizing the resume would be to group activities into various categories, and then within each category to arrange items chronologically. Using that sort of organizational structure, here are some possible categories that one might include on their resume. This certainly could be customized based on an individual's experiences, what they deem important, and what they want to showcase in their portfolio. These are not required categories. This is just merely provided as an example. As this is a Holstein award, Holstein-related activities should be somewhat of a focus in the resume. That said, DJM honorees should be well-rounded individuals, so it's important to put effort into all pieces of the resume. In your story of junior Holstein work, it is especially important to find ways to separate yourself as an individual. As you can imagine, many dairy youth participate in similar activities. We want to hear what makes you different. A common mistake young writers make is jumping from topic to topic in their story without a clear flow. Your story should have a distinct beginning, middle, and end, and flow between subjects with smooth and logical transitions. Feel free to use subheadings in your story if you feel that will help your transitions and organization. After you are done writing, be sure to read through your story when you are fresh to ensure it comes together the way you wanted it to. When writing several pages about yourself, it can be easy to want to include every small detail just to get the pages filled. Rather, we want applicants to focus on their experiences, not details that don't add to the story. One area we commonly see this is when youth are writing about their farms. We do want to get a good feel for the type of operation the applicant grew up on and where it is today. Basic details such as current herd size and acreage, housing, and milking systems will help readers get a general sense of the perspective of the applicant and should be included. On the other hand, we do not want to read about specific protocols followed by the farm in the story of junior Holstein work. Applicants should not include any newborn or fresh cow health protocols in this section. It will be considered filler and can really have a negative impact on the flow of the story. They take up space but do not tell us anything about the individual. Applicants are given a place to write about farm health protocols in Section J, entitled Vaccination and Animal Health Protocols. An important lesson for young writers is learning to first think about what your audience wants to hear about or learn, and then writing about it. We encourage applicants to develop a detailed outline for their story before they begin writing, and be sure to touch on several areas that they think the audience might want to know about them. Remember, the majority of people reading your story will not know you. Think about what someone might want to learn about you when first meeting you. On the screen are a few suggestions of topics you might want to include in your story, such as early involvement, lessons learned, and future plans. Applicants should think of the inventory of registered Holsteins owned as a resume for their own herd. They should be well organized and contain all relevant and requested information. This would be the appropriate place to list any show winnings and production or breeder awards your animals have earned, rather than including that in your resume section. Your resume should focus on you and your accomplishments, while the inventory of Holsteins owned is a showcase of the animals in your herd. Both the personal view questions and the story of junior Holstein work are worth 25 points on the scorecard, so it is important to devote time and effort in putting together your answers. Use this as a place to demonstrate your thoughtfulness and perspective on the dairy industry and related issues, as well as your ability to serve as an eloquent and capable spokesperson for our industry. Spend time researching the topic if necessary, and jot down a few main points you want to be sure to include before you start writing, so you will be able to cover everything within the required page or time limit. Work to be original with your answers and avoid trite responses. When relevant, incorporate personal experiences into your answers to demonstrate first-hand knowledge and experience. Some special consideration should be given when looking on the video personal view questions. Video is a great way to be able to show the audience your personality and really express yourself. When putting together your answers, imagine you are speaking to non-farm consumers or preparing an agricultural advocacy video to post online. Again, we want to see that applicants are capable spokespeople for our industry. When reading the video questions, think about what unique opportunities you have with video that you would not be able to demonstrate if you were just answering on paper, and work to incorporate those to your best advantage. Photo guidelines are outlined on the last page of the DJM application, but there are a few things we wanted to emphasize in regards to photos used in the entry. The photo you use on your introductory page will be the one that is used in press releases and other media related to the award. It should be a current, professional reflection of the applicant. We discourage using an artsy style or informal photo on this page. If you wish to provide a CD of digital images to accompany your application for our use, feel free to include that with your entry. We ask that all photos be printed at an official photo center like you would find at many Walgreens or Walmart stores. Photos printed on home printers often are not good quality and scan very poorly when used for other purposes. Please only use high-quality photos throughout your application. Poor quality photos, those that might be distorted, blurry, or have technical problems, detract from the overall appearance and professionalism of your application. Finally, let's briefly touch on some video guidelines. Several guidelines are included in the last page of the DJM application. The main point we want to drive home with the videos is to please work to put your best foot forward. The videos will be posted online and shown during the National Junior Awards Luncheon, so like the rest of your application, they should be a good reflection of you. One common mistake often seen in videos is poor sound quality, mostly in the form of extensive wind noise or too much background noise. If people are unable to hear what you are saying in the video, it does not serve its purpose. Tips on avoiding those problems are covered in the tip sheet we will be providing. On a final note, we want to remind everyone that no professional video editing assistance may be used by applicants. They may seek advice, but all work must be their own, just like the rest of the book.